Now we are going to study tenses once again. As I have already explained earlier, there are three different kinds of tenses. They are the past tense, then the present tense, and the future tense. And in the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense, we have four aspects of each tense. Again, for example, let me take the present tense first. In the present tense, there is the number one, present indefinite, which is also sometimes referred to as simple present. Then there is the present perfect. Then there is the present continuous. Then there is the present perfect. Continuous. So these are the four aspects of the present tense, and these four aspects are also there in the past tense and also the future tense. There is the past indefinite or simple past, then there is the past perfect, then past continuous, then past perfect continuous. And again, for the future tense also, we have the future indefinite or simple future, then future perfect, then future continuous, and future perfect continuous. Now, first of all, we'll come to the first aspects of all the different kinds of tense by taking the present tense. In the present tense, we will take the first aspect of the present tense, the present indefinite. The present indefinite, also known as simple present. And how we must make sentences by using verbs. Last time we talked about regular and irregular verbs. So now we are going to come to this present tense aspect, the present indefinite, and use verbs to make sentences in the present indefinite. Okay. Now we are going to use one very simple verb, go, which is very common and simple, and we are going to make sentences in the present indefinite. Present indefinite simple. Present. Okay, I think you all know about the first person and the second person and the third person. I'll not go into explanation of that, but I'll just use it. First person, when we make the sentence using the verb go, we'll make it in the first person first, singular. First person can again be divided into singular and plural aspect. Okay, so in the singular aspect, we'll use the verb go to make a sentence. I go to school every day. Then the plural aspect, we go to school every day. Then second person singular is there, and plural is there. Second person singular and plural uses you. You is both singular and plural, so we will not write two sentences here. We'll write only one sentence. It can either be singular or plural. It can be used both for singular and plural. You go to school every day. Then in the third person, singular, we have he, she, and it. And in the plural, we have they. So here, this is the important part of making sentences with verbs in the present indefinite. Here the verb go, when I make a sentence by using third person singular, the verb go will undergo a change. I cannot say he go to school every day. I must change go by adding es, and go becomes goes. He goes to school every day. She goes to school every day. It goes to school every day. This addition of es or s to the verb does not make the verb become a plural and does not make the sentence become a plural sentence, but this is the rule of grammar where you have to add s or es or ies to the verb as it is required, so that when we use the verb in the third person singular, the verb will undergo a change. In the plural, it will be the same. It will not. The verb will not undergo any changes. It will be they go to school every day. Okay. Now some other examples of verbs which must undergo changes are like cry. If I were to make a sentence in the third person singular using the verb cry, I must make it like this. He cries every He cries every morning. He cries every morning. I cannot say he cry every morning. This is wrong. This is correct. The verb cry must undergo a change. Cry will become cries. I change the verb by writing IES instead of Y. This will happen only in the case of the third person singular. This can either be she, or when we use a proper noun like Raju cries every morning. Okay. Now some other examples of verbs which must undergo changes when we make sentences in the third person singular. Touch, the verb touch. He touches the blackboard. He touches the blackboard. Or she touches her puppy. Here the verb touch has undergone a change by addition of es. He touches the blackboard, she touches the blackboard. We cannot say he touched the blackboard, she touched her puppy. Must always add this es. He touches the blackboard, she touches her puppy. Rita touches her hair very often. So in this way there will be some verbs where we have to make the changes in the verb by adding es. For example, pass. He always passes by the sweet shop. Or she always passes by the beauty salon. Here in this case, pass, the verb is pass, has undergone a change by adding es. These are sentences in the third person singular. So the rule of making sentences with verbs in the present indefinite or simple present is that in all the other persons, first person, second person and third person, except for the singular form of the third person, in the plural form of the third person, in the second person singular and plural, and the first person singular and plural, the verb will not undergo any change. Whereas in the third person singular, the verb must always undergo a change. Cry will become cries. Touch will become touches. Pass will become passes. And so on. I can give more examples, but let this be enough. And here we see in the first person singular, we see the sentence, I go to school every day. So simple present or present indefinite is used to talk about things that we normally do every day, or as a habit, or which is an universal truth. Present indefinite is used to express things that we do all the time, normally, like every day, then habits, then universal facts. For example, the sun rises in the east. This is an universal truth which will never change. So we use the present indefinite here. The sun rises in the east. Then if I were to talk about habit, I can say I eat ice cream after dinner. If I say I eat ice cream after dinner, I'm talking about something which I usually do after having my dinner. Then this one, I go to school every day. This is something which I do all the time. So present indefinite or simple present is used to express this, the things that we normally do every day or all the time, and our habits, truths, and universal facts. So this is all we can do for now. The present indefinite and simple present. You go through the video and pause the video if necessary and read the sentences. I'll give you exercises by giving you a number of words where you will be required to make sentences in the first person, singular and plural, like this. When you write your sentences, your exercise, you must write in this format. You write the verb here, the verb which I give you must be written here. Verb, for example, here go, verb go, then first person singular, first person plural, second person singular and plural, then third person singular, he, she, it, then plural, they. In this format, you'll be required to make some sentences from a number of verbs which I will give you in the school group. So I once again like to remind you to take your studies seriously, because we are living in difficult times where we cannot interact in the classroom anymore until some measures are worked out by the government where we can get back to our normal way of learning. Until then, you'll be required to follow everything that we post in the school group, and then do your assignment and read your text, do your assignment, and always be serious about your studies. Keep in touch with your studies. Okay, that'll be all for now.